I don't I don't really even know what to say anymore at this point. Phillies lost to the Diamondbacks 12-5. In the words of Frank the Tank Fleming, they look feeble. They look atrociously bad. Not just the batting, but the pitching. The pitching looks just atrocious. Get all into all that coming up, but mentioned in the pregame that this was the biggest game so far for the Phillies. They lost. Not even did they lose. They showed no heart, no fight. They didn't really show much to excite you about. And now you drop the season series to the Diamondbacks. Now they have the tiebreaker for you. So that, you need against if you want to be successful in the playoffs, you see it from the Phillies. They play better at home. They play tremendously better when they're playing at Citizens Bank Park. And you need to have the tiebreakers over as many teams as you can because there's no guarantee that you're going to have a better record than them by the end of the year, especially with the slump that they're in now. I thought they were coming out of it, but I guess they're just crawling right back into their turtle shell. They're right back to where they were a couple days ago. And it's sad. It really is. So, yeah, if anybody's watching, let me know your thoughts on the game because that was just brutal. Jake McCarthy was insane again. He had 4 RBIs tonight. It was 3 for 5. Had that bases clearing triple. That was really where the game was put away. I mean, you could argue it was Corbin Carroll's 2-run home run, but Jake McCarthy, I think he had 11 RBIs this series. Jake McCarthy had 11 RBIs in 4 games. Like, that's how bad this road trip was for the Phillies. It was just abysmal. There's no fight. No fight in the Phillies pitchers. None. The only pitcher that looked somewhat good was Max Lazar, who I am actually very impressed with. His breaking ball looks absolutely filthy. But the rest, Christopher Sanchez, not even 5 innings, 12 hits. 12 hits, 7 runs, 4 strikeouts. With him, it looked like he was either throwing it right down the middle of the plate or he was throwing it in the dirt. I mean, the Diamondbacks scored a run off of a wild pitch, and Sanchez threw about 5 of those right before that. So Christopher Sanchez, not the Christopher Sanchez we're used to seeing, and the rest of the pitchers. Here's their stats. Tanner Banks came in. He gave up a run. Ryan Kirkering, he gave up a run. Jose Alvarado, he gave up 3. I've been preaching about how much better he's been looking and how he might be back. Now I'm questioning even if that's even true. He gave up a 2-run home run to Corbin Carroll, lefty Oppo Taco. And then Matt Lazar came. Matt Lazar. It's not Matt Lazar. Max. You see what they're doing? They're messing up my brain. He came in. He struck out 2 in an inning. So he's the only one that really looked any good. I'm hoping that Junior Marte is off of the team by tomorrow. I'm assuming that they waited out of, it's hard to get another pitcher out to Arizona for 1 game. Probably it's not even worth it. So expect to see that tomorrow. Not sure off the top of my head who the Phillies would be calling up. They just removed Nick Nelson from the 40-man roster, so will not be him. It could also just be Taijuan Walker because Taijuan Walker is expected to start Tuesday, so they may just move Tyler Phillips to the bullpen and move Taijuan Walker into the starting rotation, and Tyler Phillips takes over Junior Marte's role. That would be my guess, but, I mean, we'll see. I thought the Phillies would call up Cody Clemens or Scott Kingery when Austin Hayes went down, but they ended up calling up Cal Stevenson. So I'm not Dave Dombrowski. I don't know Dave Dombrowski personally. I don't know what he's thinking inside of his head. So I guess we'll wait and see for tomorrow or most likely Tuesday. Let's go over the keys to the game, man. I said don't let Merrill Kelly get comfortable. This is his first start since April 12th or 16th. First start since April. What did they do? He gave up 2 runs in the first inning. Phillies looked like they were doing really well. 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs. They did not get another run off of Merrill Kelly. There were so many 2-0 counts. There were so many 3-0 counts, 3-1 counts. And the Phillies did absolutely nothing with them. There was an at-bat. What inning was this? Second inning, Brandon Marsh had a 3-0. He got an outside pitch, close, edge of the zone, strike. So it was 3-1, and then he swings at the next pitch. Why are you doing that? Why not just take as many pitches as you can? It's a favorable count for the hitter. What is good about swinging? Unless it's a meatball right down the middle, let this guy's pitch count get high. Do not let him get in a groove. This is his first time pitching in months, and he's on the older. He's not old, but he's on the older side for a starting pitcher. So the Phillies did not do a lot of that tonight. Outside the first inning, Merrill Kelly pretty much walked all over the Phillies. Said limit the homers. That didn't really matter. They scored 12 runs. They had 18 hits. It's I don't know if it's tied for the most hits the Phillies have given up all year. Only 2 of those runs were off of home runs. So, I mean, they did limit the home runs, but not much you can do when they get 18 hits and 12 runs. There's not much you can do. And lefty bats. As you mentioned, Bryson Stott and Brandon Marsh specifically, they swapped spots in the lineup. They've been really struggling lately, and they ended their hitless streak. Brandon Marsh got an RBI. Bryson Stott got on base, got a double. Still, Bryson Stott made an error in the field. He's been struggling mightily lately. It sucks to see because he's one of the most likable guys on the team. And obviously, you root for every guy. You hate to see anybody not doing well, especially in a close playoff race like this. But man, I don't even know. What do they do with him? Do they just give him a few days off? Do they let Sosa take over for a couple of days just to let Stott? Does he need some days off? Or is it just, I mean, he's batting down in the 230s. That's crazy. He's now a platoon with Edmundo Sosa. Edmundo Sosa has been outperforming him. That's a crazy thing. Alec Bohm, extended his on-base streak, 29 games. It's the longest active. Adam checking in. Doesn't want to see Alvarado anytime during the game. We got 3 runs back. And Alvarado just completely – that was the dagger. It really was. I mean, I've been preaching about how well Jose Alvarado's looked in his last 3 games, but I mean, the Phillies started to maybe make a comeback. It was 9-5, so it's like, oh, it's still not out of reach. And then Jose Alvarado comes in, gives up the 3 runs. Kevin Newman got the RBI, and then Corbin Carroll the 2-run home run. So it was a Jose Alvarado. No more high leverage situations. I don't even know where to even put him at this point. Everyone starts hitting except Turner. He needs a couple of days off, I think. I would start Edmundo or Weston Wilson and put Stott at short, put Sosa at short. But Trey definitely needs a day off. But they do play the Marlins in a 2-game series. So the Marlins are one of the worst teams in the league this year. Old Phillies would just get swept by them. It's only a 2-game series, but Taijuan Walker pitching, I think they need all the offense they can get. So I think if Trey struggles in that first game against the Marlins, I definitely do think that they should 100% give him some days off. We did decent on the triple play. Let's see what we got. Let's see how we did today. So on the regular ones, Bryce Harper to get 2+ hits. He did not get that. He did walk a couple of times. Sanchez over 4.5 strikeouts. He was at 4. If he did not give up as many hits as he did, I think he would have gotten it. He just needed 1 more, but he was close to 100 pitches in the 5th inning. So close though. And Schwarber, 1 total base. Did not get it. But we did hit 1. And it was the wild card. Dallas Stevenson to get an RBI at plus 310. Plus 310. That's some great odds. And I mentioned in the pregame, so you know what? His first game, usually the people that come up, they usually do something in their first game, whether it's just 1 hit. That's exactly what he did. He went 1 for 4, and he got an RBI single. During that was the 7th inning where the Phillies started to look like they were coming back. Like, oh, maybe they have a chance, but we went 1 for 4 today, so We also extend the streak to, I mean, how many days in a row is it now? Over a week. We've hit at least one. So definitely, if you're going to tune into this show for something, tune in for the triple play because 1 for 4 today. That's pretty good. Lufa checking in. That rookie catcher was killing us. Yeah. Oh my goodness. What is it? Adrian? Is that his first? Adrian Del Castillo? Adrian? No, yeah, Adrian Del Castillo. He was 3 for 5 tonight, and he had the walk off the other day. Where's this kid come from? That was his second and third game up in the majors, and all of he's torching the Phillies. So it was Jake McCarthy, and they lost Ketel Marte yesterday. He left the game. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. left the game. So Jock Peterson didn't even play today. He's been killing it this year. So you lose a 4-game series to Adrian Del Castillo, a rookie catcher who's been playing for 2 or 3 games, and Jake McCarthy, who's prime Barry Bonds all of a sudden. Adams says Sanchez's pitches looked a little slow today. Yeah, he didn't really look himself. He didn't look comfortable at all. Is that just the Phillies curse with playing in Chase Field? It could be, but I don't really know. Sanchez definitely didn't look himself. Is there something up with the Diamondbacks turf or the dirt? I don't know because Lourdes Gurriel, he looked like I don't know if it was on the single or that crazy Spider-Man catch he had against Bryce Harper. But Lourdes Gurriel left with a hamstring injury. But that's what Corbin Carroll did look a little slow after his one at bat, but he was fine. He hit a home run. So Trey Turner, though, that one play, I was like, is that the dirt? Because he did not hustle. That double play, I don't know if he wasn't hustling. I don't know if he got hurt, but I don't know. Was there something up with the dirt? Because it definitely seemed like it. So yeah, Cal Stevenson hit that 1 for 4. Use code HEAT. You get 50% off. Oh man, at least the Braves lost. I feel like this is the NL East right now. It's not the National League Beast, National League Best. It's the NL Least. It's just like NFC when the Eagles were winning the division at 9-7. It was they called it the NFC Least. Right now, this is the National League Least because Braves just lost the series to the Colorado Rockies, one of the worst teams in the entire league, not just the National League. I think they are the worst team record-wise in the National League. So Braves, they don't want to win it either. Mets, Mariners, it's 7-12 right now, so they had their first pitch 2 minutes ago. We'll see what happens. And hallelujah. Phillies needed a break. They needed to get out of that West Coast. There's just something about the West Coast trips. I remember in 2019, Phillies looked really good in April and midway through May, and they just went on that West Coast trip to San Diego. McCutchen tore his ACL, and that was it. The season was over after the West Coast trip. So the West Coast trip's not really too kind to the Phillies, but they have the day off tomorrow. They need it. They really, really need it. They open a 2-game series against the Marlins starting Tuesday. Taijuan Walker making his return. Apparently, Phillies say he solved his splitter issue. He really struggled with that in his first couple starts. Early in the year, takes on, I hope I say this right, Valente Belozo, 0-1, 4.20 ERA, versus Taijuan Walker. Tony is going live at 6 p.m. from Pike's Pub. So the normal time for the 6:40, I would usually probably do it around 5:30. But since Tony's going on at 6, I don't want to make it any closer than it needs to be. I'm just going to do it at 4:30. So I'll be live at 4:30 for Phillies pregame. 2-game series with the Marlins. So we'll talk about all that. Their favorite moments against the Marlins. I have one off the top of my head. So I'll keep that in my head until Tuesday. I'll share what it is. Definitely maybe the best game I've been to as a Phillies fan. But yeah, so check out Tony. He's live on Sirius XM tonight. I think he's on live right now. So if you want to hear fantasy football, I'm sure he's going to be talking about the Phillies. Definitely go check him out. He's on the Fantasy Football channel. Adam, going to be Pike's Pub on Tuesday. There you go. He said he has the mic and the chair ready for you, just for you. I mean, he's going to have it open forever, but he's looking forward to having you talk. I don't think I will be there. I think I'll be there next week. Definitely not this week. got too much going on right now, but definitely check him out tonight, 7-9 on Sirius, or maybe he's 8-10. I'm not sure, but look out for the fantasy radio for the Win Daily show. It'll be Tony, and yeah, no Phillies pregame tomorrow because there's no Phillies game tomorrow. Me here, Phillies pregame for first game of 2 games against the Marlins here Tuesday 4:30, and then Tony will be live from 6 to 9:30 around then. So hope you can join me. Hope you can join Tony. Thank you all very, very much for listening to me ramble about this abysmal, feeble, disastrous performance. I'm concerned. I'll admit it. I'm really concerned at this point. So thank you all for tuning in. Hope to see you on Tuesday. Have a good night, everybody. If you watch that Phillies game, you deserve a night off. If you've watched this entire West Coast trip, you deserve a day off from man, my brain is just what the Phillies do. That's what they do when they lose. They lost 3 of their last 4. Man, hopefully we can talk about a Phillies win another day, but that was not today. Thank you all for tuning in again. See you Tuesday. I've been Tyler Mroz for Heat Ratio Sports. Have a good night, everyone. Go Phillies.